Alrighty then, I don't know if you can see very well in the dim light garage here, but one slightly scorched dash out. As you guys up in Canada say out, it's out, so it is out. Wasn't really a big deal. I just took the bolts out that needed to come out, and it came on out with a little bit of wiggling. I had to make sure I had the doors propped open a little bit, that kind of thing. Just wiggle it out. The main thing is you got to get all this wiring disconnected, and I know that in my immediate future I'm going to be ordering a copy of a factory service manual for this car so I can figure out all the wiring. But the wiring looks good, and what I did was I dropped the steering column. You got some nuts that hold it up right up under the dash frame, and then you have some bolts down there at the floor. There's a plate and a seal and all that. You need to take that loose, and then this thing will just drop down. So count on replacing that seal down there. And then you have, I think it was, let's see, how many bolts was it? I think it was 5 bolts up here on the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. And there's really no way to get that out without the windshield being out. So it's a good thing the windshield busted in that regard. Then you have 2 that will bolt, 1 on each side, that bolt in right there. So you just take all those out, and then you can kind of get to, you can wheel it forward towards the back of the car, and then you can kind of get your hand in there and light and stuff and look around and see what's what. But that thing had to come out, because you see all this glass that's still on the floor. That's just been falling out, continuously falling out the entire time. And you can look back in this dashboard and see what an utter mess it is in here. So I don't know how much of the switch gear and stuff I'll be able to salvage. I'm just going to go ahead and remove it. I know I've got to have a dash pad. That may be, that and probably getting seats will probably be the most money that I have to spend on the interior. Because dash pads, good dash pads for 68 Furies are not exactly just laying around everywhere. Of course we know that. How many of you remember S&H green stamps? There are some right there. Found those laying around in the back. I guess that was originally under where the glove box was, so somebody was turning those things in. We had those when those were kids. I don't know if they still have them. Maybe they do. I haven't even researched that. But I remember when you bought, I'm trying to remember the way that worked. I don't know if you had to go to a specific store to get those, or just different stores handed them out. But I know we had one store here in town that always issued those, and basically the way it worked was when you bought products from the store, you got those as a bonus. You know, ever how much you spent, you got some of those S&H green stamps, and you got a little book that had different things in it, you know, different prizes, I guess you could say. And you could, as you collected up those green stamps there, I think you pasted them in another book. As a matter of fact, I think that's this stuff is coming back to me as I'm talking about it. I think you had a book, and you licked those things just like the old time stamps before they went to being self-adhesive. You licked those things and put them in a book somewhere. You had to fill the book up, the stamp book, and then when you filled the thing up, I think you probably, you know, had different things, took different amount of stamps to get them. Then you could take it back to the store and get your free prize. So it was just a bonus. It was an early version of you know how you have bonus cards now and points and all that crap. Well, that's just an early version of that. That's how that worked. I miss stuff like that. You know, I guess I'll just continue to always say this, but you know, we're losing our culture in this country. Our country is just losing the things that made it stand out. It seems like everything is going to streamlined and easy to do now. So good or bad, I don't know, you tell me. But anyway, here at my house it's always the 1970s and the 60s, so good for me. I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take off that plate, that access plate on that heater right there, and look in there and see what's what. I hope there's nothing living in it about it, but I'm going to go ahead and just do that. And I'm hoping that 283-7507. I'm gonna have to work on that a little bit. Probably preserve that. Looks like those two connectors there. I can tell you one of them is, well, not sure. I guess one's the ground. I see a wire going. I don't know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. As much as I've done videos on heater systems, and I'm having to ask what that is, I'm pretty sure that is. I know that's the input for the. Like I told you guys on the. Come on, figure it out. The 3 wire is probably the input to the blower resistor, and then that one's the output, that single one, because like I said, you got that single green wire, and it's heading out that way, so that's probably going out to the blower. But I don't want to take this heater box out because it's got that thing on it, that duct, and I don't know where in the hell you would find another one of those. But one good thing about this car, it looks like that it's been pretty watertight. I know the floors have been worked on, but overall for a convertible, the cowl and everything looks pretty rust free, so that's crucial because you get into a lot of work having to repair the channel. The only thing is that I'm going to have to spend ever how much time scraping this out, because it had a, I don't know if this one, I see evidence of foam in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look. I don't think this one uses the same kind of seal as the A-body. The A-body uses one of those, you know, the big thick rubber one that goes around the outside of it. I don't think this one uses that kind, but I'm not certain. I'll have to look at that because there's sticky stuff in there, and that means it's probably a butyl seal. That's the kind of gummy rubber stuff. So, well, I'm just rambling, so I think I'm going to quit rambling and get that cover off there, and maybe I'll make a little short video when I get that thing taken off, and we'll look in there and see what's in there.